Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bracket Fantasy Sports Cards. This is your week 2 of the Fantasy Rip League 2020 recap video. So, yeah, week 2 is in the books. It was a scary week for fantasy. We lost a lot of big players. Just a crazy amount of players. It was like an Armageddon of injuries. So, we actually won this week against Folk Rips. We came in with 211 points to his 159.38. And we both ripped 2020 Donruss hobby boxes. But we happened to have a Dak Prescott ×3 multiplier, so Dak got us almost 120 points.
Thank you to Atlanta's defense for doing everything possible to make sure that Dak got into the end zone.
Yeah, he definitely tried though. He did. Yeah. He played really well. So put up a lot of yards, a lot of scores. Yeah, almost 120 points for that. We had a couple other multipliers. The main difference maker, I guess, was Dallas ×4, which, to be fair, Jeff told me not to play. I fought for it, I won, and got us a whopping negative 12 points.
As a diehard Cowboys fan, they have no defense.
Yeah, well, I know that now. Where were you before? Oh, that's right. You were arguing with me not to play them. Folk had just 2 multipliers, but one of them was the Buccaneers defense ×6. He got 84 points for that, so pretty good score there. Unfortunately, he had that juicy Kirk Cousins multiplier ×4, which I don't blame him. I probably would have played as well. But Kirk Cousins did not have a good game. With his ×4 multiplier, he ended up with 6 total fantasy points.
I feel like on a bad day, I could get 6 fantasy points playing quarterback.
I feel like I could get 6 fantasy points not playing quarterback. Just like, that just kind of falls into your lap. But good game, Falk. Unfortunately, we happened to win that one, so that brings our record to 2-1 and Falk to 0-2. Second matchup was Derb Sports Talk and Cards versus Haas of Cards. Derb opened a 2020 Donruss hobby box, and Haas opened 2 Elite Blasters from 2020 Donruss. So Derb came out with 201 points, and Haas topped 237 for the win. So they both had so many multipliers. Haas had 5 multipliers. Derb had 6 multipliers. Some noteworthy plays there for Derb was the Keenan Allen ×6 for 84 points. Pretty nice there. His Kyle Rudolph ×2 scored him 0 because Kyle Rudolph I think he had a target maybe? Did not score any points. Haas had the Kyler Murray ×2, which was an excellent play for 66 points, and the Chris Carson ×4 for 73 points. And that's 237 points for Haas with 2 zeros. He did not pull a tight end, and his defensive player, no points.
Yeah, but Kyler Murray carried that for him.
Well, we're partial to Kyler Murray, but yeah, that was a great game. Yeah, good matchup here too this week. However, Haas Cards takes it by 36 points, bringing Haas of Cards record to 2-0, and Derb Sports Talk and Cards to 1-1.
Enjoy all those victories until you get to us.
Yep. Next matchup, Hendo's Hobbies versus Spurs Cards 21. Hendo opened 2 Donruss Elite Blasters, and Spurs Cards, interesting play, played a boombox. This is the first time that anyone has played a repack, and we are going to do that pretty soon. As soon as our Brothers in Cards box arrives, we will be playing a repack as well. But it did not turn out too great for Spurs Cards. He had a Phillip Rivers multiplier ×3 for 35 points, and that was the only multiplier. However, a decent fantasy lineup. If we weren't playing with multipliers, he ended up with 140 points. Hendo's Hobbies takes the win with 164 points total. 3 total multipliers, including Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and Austin Eckler. So Eckler took the best of that one ×4, ended up with 67 points. So that brings Hendo's Hobbies overall record to 1-1, and Spurs Cards to 0-2. JPN, who is the new league leader right now, at 3-0.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Up against the Card Dojo, who's 0-2. JPN opened a 2019 Score Blaster box and ended up with 248 points out of that.
Wow.
So this just goes to show you that you can't buy a win in Fantasy Rip League. It's more about the strategy and the luck of the pull. Card Dojo opened 2019 Chronicles Hobby box and scored 206 points. So JPN takes the win there by 42 points. relying heavily on his Stephon Diggs ×4 multiplier with 101 total fantasy points
Who
gained from
just
that.
killed it with Josh Allen, just lighting it up.
Yeah, nobody played Josh Allen this week. I don't think anybody even pulled a Josh Allen.
I
But that
played
would've
him
been-
in regular fantasy. He's my man.
I felt like I played against him in regular fantasy because I got crushed this year, but this week. Card Dojo pulled a nice ×6 multiplier, worked out this week. Got 72 points for the Packers D. So Card Dojo 0-2, JPN 3-0. And Odd Man Out to Buffman 17, bringing his record to 1-1. Played a 2020 Prestige Hanger Box and pulled ×3 Kyler Murray for 99 points. And Washington's D ×6 for 24 points. Overall score of 194.12, and he was against JPN this week, so that is JPN's other win. So we are just rotating instead of a bye week, we're having a week where somebody takes on 2 defenders. It's like an anti-bye week. So there you have it. There's our recap for week 2. Now we are going to get into our lineup for week 2 from our Prestige Hanger Box rip. We pulled some pretty cool cards. For quarterback, we had a lot of options, but we definitely decided on this Lamar Jackson numbered card, 88 of 199. So we will take Lamar Jackson ×3.
Kansas City, that's got to be a shootout, right?
I would think so. Either way, no matter what defense they're against, Lamar Jackson ×3, I'm on it. Had some options at running back. We'll go over this one first. Derrick Henry is our number 1 pick. No multiplier, but Derrick Henry should be a good play. One of the few running backs that are not hurt this week or out for the season. Then we had Miles Sanders. It's definitely an option. James Conner, bell cow. Leonard Fournette, surprising game with Tampa Bay. Not sure if he's going to repeat that, at least again, back-to-back weeks. So instead of that, we are going with the Nick Chubb powerhouse.
They're taking on Washington at home. I mean, Kyler Murray ran all over that defense. So we're hoping Nick Chubb does the same thing. And
he looked like he could on Thursday Night Football for sure. Okay, so Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry as our running backs. Couple options for wide receivers. We pulled one potential multiplier wide receiver, and it was Michael Thomas, who's one of the many players that was hurt this week. So we could go with DJ Chark. Golden Tate, who I think is going to start popping out again. I think he's going to be a good actual fantasy play. But we're going with Tyler Lockett for our WR1.
that's because the Cowboys defense, we're betting against them this time.
This should work out
Yeah,
historically this year.
Ridley had a game on Sunday.
All right, WR2, we got Cooper Kupp, MVS, with Devontae Adams out. He's going to get a lot more targets. I think that's a sneaky good play, but we are going with Odell Beckham Jr., banking on that re-emergent season. Looked really good on Thursday.
Keep that rolling.
Can't believe I'm playing 2 Browns, but we're doing it. For our tight end, we got 3 options. TJ Hawkinson, playing against Arizona. Evan Engram, and Jared Cook. With Michael Thomas out, got to go with Jared Cook and the increased targets. Should get a lot of that market share.
They're taking on the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is on a tear for the last 2 weeks. Odds are he keeps that up.
Which means they're going to be fighting for
Behind.
scores.
Yep.
All right, we pulled one kicker, and it seems like in most products that I've seen so far, there's 1 to 2 kickers available, like that you can pull it all. Young-Ho Koo and Harrison Butker. I haven't seen, I don't think, anybody else. But instead of Young-Ho Koo, we're going with Eric Kendricks and the ×2 multiplier. The Vikings D is bad. We cannot blame Eric Kendricks for that.
Not with 11 solo tackles on Sunday by himself.
Yeah, he still is going to get his tackles. He's going to get his points in. So we're going to take Eric Kendricks in our kicker defensive player flex ×2. And this is the one that I'm excited about. I feel like this is going to be a good card. Clayton Geathers, safety for the Colts. We are going to play the Colts defense ×2.
They are at home against the Jets.
Enough said. If you're against,
Yeah.
against the Jets, enough said. I will take the defense on that every day. All right, there is our lineup. We'll go over it one more time. We've got Lamar Jackson at quarterback ×3. Nick Chubb and Derrick Henry ×1 for the running backs. Wide receivers are Tyler Lockett and Odell Beckham Jr. times 1. Jarrett Cook is going to be our tight end times 1. We got Eric Kendricks for our defensive player times 2. And the Colts defense times 2. So we are going against Derb Sports Talk and Cards, who I believe is ripping a Score Blaster box. And normally I would be thinking that that's a pretty easy win, but that's what JPN opened and scored, I think, the most points this week. So could be scary, lots of options there. But I think we've got a pretty good matchup. I feel confident in it. Jeff, how do you feel about it?
I always feel good about it. You always feel good at the beginning of the week. It's Sunday about 2 in the afternoon that you start to lose confidence.
Well, in regular fantasy, I played against 3 Browns players on Thursday, so I was feeling pretty bad by Thursday late afternoon. They just crushed me, so I went into Sunday down like 100 points. But I feel good about this one. We've been having a lot of fun with this. I hope everyone's been enjoying watching and playing along, so I guess that'll do it for the video. All right, thank you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next one.